Being a hider.
Bill Hyder.
And Bill and I, in 1959, did not belong to any church. We were perfectly happy without one. We left our Lutheran and Jewish upbringing. But when our son was going to start kindergarten, we decided we needed a tag. And I did some research at the Enoch Pratt Library downtown and found a tract by the already named W.W. Argo talking about Unitarianism, and we decided on that one. And then I happened to see that there was an organizing meeting. I think it was going to be at the Women's Club, not Women's, Women's Club.
Not Women's Club, Women's Club,
in Towson. And that I went there and signed the attendance sheet and thus became a charter member of the Towson Unitarian Fellowship. And both our daughter Allison and our son James went through the RE program. And Allison is now in her 9th year as a UU minister in Provincetown. Right. So she can be called a product of this church. Thank you.
Me?
Yeah, it's your turn. No, I guess it isn't.
Not yet.
And for all the time that we attended TUC, well, at that time it was fellowship, services were held at the Women's Club. And my claim to fame might be that I was a secretary of the board at the time that we bought the land, this land. So my name is on that deed. Bill and I divorced in 1969. We're still friends, though. And I moved to Columbia with Allison and James. And I've since been a strong member of the Columbia Unitarian Congregation, UU congregation. And I've been here many times, both for joint services. I'm in the choir there, so I've sung here, and the choir has come over there. And also for musical programs. And it's always great to be here. And meet old friends from way back, which has often happened. And here you go. Now it's your turn.
Okay, memories. Inga and I were members of the choir of the fellowship at the time. The choir master was Bernie Strahler. Some of you may remember him. And we had one of these big snows that we get here maybe once or twice a year. And Bernie called us early on a Sunday morning, so just shortly before Christmas, and said, I can't get there, and so there'll be no choir today. So he said, don't worry, we'll take care of it. So we put on a favorite record of ours of medieval English Christmas carols. And fortunately, the first track on the first side was one of our favorites. Came in 2 parts. And while we got ready to go, putting on our heavy clothing and getting our kids dressed, we practiced that. We rehearsed. We trudged through the snow a mile or so to the Women's Club of Towson, and at the appointed place in the service, the pianist, another name you may remember, Ann Lemp. Anybody remember Ann Lemp? No? Goes back. Okay. Anyway, she said, what do I do? I said, give us a D. She gave us a D. We sang it. And just the 2 of us, yeah. Okay. Noel Sing We, it was called. We won't sing it now. Although we could.
Maybe not me. Where? Oh, yeah. One of my really favorite memories was Ed Talbot and I flying in his plane to a meeting in Boston, a UU meeting in Boston. And he said, when we were up in the air, he said, hey, if you want to, you can take over for a little while. Just head for that cloud. And I did. And that started my love of flying. And I started to learn to fly. I didn't finish because I don't have the head for detail that is really required. But I still love flying in small planes, and I've parachuted, and I still intend to do a skydiving. But only the what do you call it? The tandem. So.
Not the pretend kind.
Yeah. And I still love to fly in small airplanes.
Okay, one more memory from me. We had a big meeting once. What to do about Dave McPherson. Dave had been our minister for a year or two. and he had a mental breakdown and couldn't work for us anymore, for at least not for a while. And the question was, do we go on paying him when he's not working for us? And there's a meeting about that, and quite a few people got up to discuss the matter, and the general sense of the meeting was that we really couldn't afford to go on paying him because we're trying to build up this building fund of ours. And we don't have a lot of money. As everybody stressed earlier, we didn't have a lot of money. So it made more sense to put it into the building fund, not to pay Dave McPherson's salary when he wasn't working for us anyway. Well, that struck somebody in the audience as kind of wrong, and he got up and said, you know, we're supposed to be Unitarians, we're supposed to be humanists. This is an association of people. It's not a real estate corporation. And we really can't cut Dave loose like that. After all, if he got sick in our service. And the vote was taken soon after that, and very fortunately, they said, okay, we can set the building fund aside for a while and go on paying Dave. And thing he did, I think apparently he came back. I was no longer affiliated, but apparently he came back after his treatment and served some more years. Is that the case? Yeah, good. Yay. So it worked. And that's my big memory.
His big, anyway. So that was Bill who made that plea. Another big contribution made to my life was Jay Cherry's starting the Memorial Society, because through that and his child, the high cost of funerals, and the idea of donating your body after death, that persuaded our family to do that. Thanks, Jay. And I've had fun recently running into the aquarium with both volunteers. So, always met people. And car police, thanks for getting me started going to Star Island in 1967. My kids and I went there for many years, and Allison still week every year. And it's such a great place, and I have them to thank for that. So, going to that organizing and joining UCCU is the best things I ever did.
In a conversation with Charlie Lee this week, shared an exhortation of a previous TUUC music director.